These movements, you guys, are insane. I can't even eat a meal without panting by the end. Hello everybody, it's Delilah and welcome back to my channel. I just sat down to edit this video and I realized that the entire thing was blurry. So I'm sitting down for the second time to film this video. I was really bummed because I thought it turned out really good. The lighting was perfect and everything, but it's best not to dwell on the past. I'm gonna be talking all about my 27-week update, everything that's been going on in the last 2 weeks since I last updated you guys. And can we just talk about the fact that I am now in the 3rd trimester? To be honest, I can hardly wrap my head around that. The first half of this pregnancy felt like it was going by so slow and I was just longing to be at the point where I am today. So I'm really trying to just soak in every moment of this pregnancy because there's only 3 more months left, give or take. So this is what the baby looks like right now. This is the Pregnancy Plus app, by the way. I get questions about that every single time I film an update. Let's just make sure that this is not blurry because that would make me really angry. So according to this app, the baby is 14.8 inches in length and about 2.22 pounds. And that's pretty crazy because when Eloise was born, she was only 18 inches long. So that means that this child is probably very close to its birth length, which is pretty cool. Your baby's eyes are now partially open and those tiny eyelids are able to blink. Even though the eyes may have some color, the final pigmentation requires exposure to light. In some cases, the final color of the eyes cannot be determined with certainty until at least 9 months after birth. Your baby is able to recognize different levels of light, even inside the womb. Even though your baby still has to grow a lot, the little body is getting chubbier as fat is depositing under the wrinkled skin. Muscles are developing some tone as well. Your baby has a 95% chance of survival if born at the end of the week. The lungs are better prepared to breathe, but would still need medical assistance. Okay, so I've got a lot to talk about this update, as you can probably tell by the length of this video. Feel free to grab a coffee, like I am. And let's talk pregnancy. First things first, I've been talking about insomnia throughout this whole pregnancy. It's been pretty good the past couple weeks. I am definitely getting enough sleep. The only thing is I'm automatically waking up at like 6:30 every single day. And that's not a bad thing. Like, I'm okay with that. I like to be awake before Eloise is awake. It really helps me be more productive. There's no way that I could sleep in longer than that. I've also been talking about mid-morning sickness. It kind of reoccurred around Christmas time. It is still happening. It's not happening every single day. It's more so just on occasion. I'll get a sudden wave of nausea and dizziness and tiredness. And I just really need to sit down and eat a little bit of food, and it usually goes away pretty quickly. And it's really weird because even if I'm really full, I still have to eat some food, otherwise it just won't go away. One of the biggest things that's really been happening in this past couple weeks is I have been having shortness of breath like crazy. By the time I'm done filming this video, I'm gonna be panting, and that's something that you guys don't ever see is because I cut out those parts where I'm just trying to catch my breath. It's getting worse and worse. Even though my belly is really low with this pregnancy, this baby is really high. I can't even eat a meal without panting by the end. Like, I have to stop multiple times while I'm eating just to catch my breath. It's pretty crazy, but I can still take a deep breath, which is something I am very thankful for because with Eloise, I remember by the end, I couldn't even take in a full breath. That's how squished my lungs were. So I'm clinging on to that as long as I can. These movements, you guys, are insane. I've been saying that throughout this entire pregnancy. It's nothing new, but these kicks are starting to hurt, like really hurt. I haven't been kicked in the ribs much yet or anything like that, but this baby likes to stretch and it is active almost constantly. And I'm not gonna complain about an active baby because I would gladly take painful kicks over very little kicks any day. I'm very thankful that I am able to feel this baby so often, but it hurts. For example, last night in my dream, I was dreaming that the baby was kicking me so hard and I was in pain. And then I woke up and that's actually what the baby was doing. It was kicking me so much and it just hurts. It's not just like quick punches that hurt, it's the ones where the baby is just like stretching its leg out or pushing its bum out or something, and it just stretches my uterus as much as possible, and it gets painful. I'm a little worried that all of these kicks in the womb are going to mean that we're gonna have a really active difficult baby once it's earthside, and I'm really praying that's not the case. The lighting is probably not going to be that great in this video, and I do apologize. I know you guys probably don't notice it that much, but I do, and it bugs me a lot. I don't know if I should be blaming this on winter or on pregnancy, but I feel like I have a cold all the time. And I know I don't. I know I'm not sick, but I feel like I am. Every morning when I wake up, my throat is really sore and dry. I know that's probably just because it is really dry and cold outside right now, but my nose is also always stuffed or runny. Most days I find myself breathing out of my mouth instead of my nose just because it's a little bit plugged. And it hurts sometimes, especially when it's really dry. So I have a feeling that's mostly due to winter, but pregnancy could be playing a part in that as well. The last update, I was talking all about round ligament pain and how I was experiencing a lot of that, and how I had especially one day in particular where I just had round ligament pain all day long. It was so painful. I went into the doctor. I haven't had it since. I've had, you know, little bits here and there, but not enough for me to make note of it. So very glad for that. No round ligament pain. This pregnancy is really starting to take a toll on my body. I am just exhausted by the end of the day, especially now Eloise is just walking and, well, she's practically running, and she's just so curious. So curious. She's constantly going after things she knows she's not supposed to play with, or doing something she knows she's not supposed to do, and it's deliberate. Like, she's doing it on purpose, even though she knows she's not supposed to. And so by the end of the day, I'm just so exhausted from running after her, chasing her down, telling her no, redirecting her. I'm physically exhausted and mentally exhausted because I'm trying to figure out, you know, the best way to discipline her, what works, what doesn't. I'm trying to figure that all out right now. It's just hard. Having a toddler is not easy, especially when you're pregnant. So I'm really curious to know how it's gonna go when we have a newborn and Eloise is going through the terrible twos. It's gonna be an adventure. All right, this is the point of the pregnancy update where I'm gonna get a little bit TMI. So if you don't like hearing about, you know, lady parts or discharge or things like that, feel free to skip ahead a few minutes. But this is a pregnancy update, so there's bound to be something that is maybe a little bit TMI. And I share these things because I know that there's people out there who want to hear these things, to feel like they are not alone, or to feel like they aren't the only ones experiencing what they're experiencing. So I'm just gonna go right out and say it all. So I've been talking about discharge for this whole pregnancy, and Eloise's pregnancy too. Like, that's just something that happens a lot when I'm pregnant. But something I've noticed, especially recently, is that it's getting really thick. Like, thick to the point that if I were to lose my mucus plug, I wouldn't know, because I would just assume it's discharge. I'm pretty sure this was the same thing with Eloise too. Like, I never ever noticed myself losing my mucus plug, and it's probably just because I blamed it on discharge, is what I'm guessing. So yeah, that's just, you know, something that's going on. The other thing I wanted to mention is that I feel like I have been kicked in the lady parts really hard. I especially notice it when I'm standing up or moving around in general, like walking around, chasing after Eloise, especially when I'm sitting on the toilet, which is like a really weird thing to say, but it feels really heavy and bruised down there. It's all over like the groin area, and it kind of radiates through to my inner thighs. Oh, and the other thing is I am a little bit swollen down there as well. And I don't know if that's something to be concerned about or not. I'm going to be talking to my doctor about that when I go next week, so I'll give you guys an update on that. And that's been going on. It's not something that I'm feeling constantly. It kind of just depends on the day. Some days are worse than others. Some days I hardly notice it, and the next day I know that I really need to just like sit down, take it easy. I did the thing you're not supposed to do, and I googled it, and it sounds like it is very common. It could be like my pelvic bones stretching, preparing for birth, or ligaments or muscles or something. I don't really know, but according to Google, I'm not alone in this. In the last 2 weeks, I have not had a doctor's appointment, but I did take the glucose test, the test where you go to a blood clinic, drink that orange sugary drink, and then wait an hour before getting your blood taken. I took that, I felt fine, I haven't heard anything back. I probably won't hear anything until I go to my next doctor's appointment. I'm assuming if I don't hear anything that everything is fine. I mean, I took the test like a week ago and I haven't gotten a call or anything. I'm sure my results have come in by now, so I'm just going to assume that all is well in that department. Another thing I'm really hoping to get more information on in my next doctor's appointment is the official due date. We really haven't had a solid due date throughout this entire pregnancy. We know that it's at the end of April, but we have been told April 21st, we've been told April 27th, April 28th. We just really don't know. So there is someone going over the measurements that were taken at both of my ultrasounds to kind of figure out an exact due date. So who knows, I could be farther along in this pregnancy than I think I am, but I will find that out at the next appointment, and obviously I'll let you guys know as well. So far in this pregnancy, I've gained 15 pounds. And I think that's totally normal, totally healthy. It's actually kind of funny because in my pregnancy with Eloise, I gained 17 pounds in total. So I know that this pregnancy, I'm definitely gonna be gaining more than that. There's no way I'm gonna go through the next 3 months and only gain 2 pounds. But what's also interesting is that I started off 10 pounds lighter this pregnancy than my previous one. Don't know how that happened. I honestly have no idea. Don't ask me about how I lose the baby weight, how I exercise, what I eat to stay healthy and lose weight. I don't know. I breastfed. I think that's a big part of it. And I think the other part of it is that I'm not a full-time baker anymore. I think I started out my pregnancy 10 pounds heavier last time because I dined on baking all day, every day. So yeah, that's the whole weight gain situation. Everything seems to be on track and going well. Oh, one more thing I want to talk about is I am torn on the gender again. At the very beginning of this pregnancy, I was convinced it was a girl, and then we had that weird encounter with a stranger who kind of predicted that the baby was going to be a boy, and so then I was completely convinced that it was a boy. But now the thought has been running through my head, what if it's a girl? What if? Because that's exactly what we thought with Eloise. Everyone thought she was gonna be a boy, and she wasn't. And so I just don't know. Now I'm torn. Obviously I'm happy with either gender. It just makes it that much more exciting to give birth. Alright, I think that's kind of everything I wanted to cover in this video. Hopefully I didn't forget anything, but I'm gonna show you my belly. So this is the belly with a shirt on. You can't really tell with this sweater, but here is my 27-week baby belly. This is where I'm feeling all of the kicks now, so I'm kind of wondering if the baby is head down now. But yeah, that is the baby belly. 27 weeks, 3rd trimester. I'm definitely starting to feel it. I've been getting a lot of questions from you guys about stretch marks, what I use for stretch marks, how I prevent them. I don't have any stretch marks yet, but I know there is a very good chance that I will be getting stretch marks either this pregnancy or future pregnancies. I really don't use anything for stretch marks. The only time I would put a lotion on my belly is when it's itchy to prevent me from itching it, because that would obviously make things worse. But I personally don't believe that using lotions or oils are going to prevent stretch marks. That's just my opinion. I feel like they're genetic. If you're gonna get them, you're gonna get them. I know my mom has stretch marks, so I know that there's a really good chance I'm gonna have them. And I'm okay with that. I'm okay with having stretch marks. I think they're actually kind of cool because they're a permanent mark of what your body has done and that your body has brought life into this world. And I think that is just really cool. So really, I'm not doing anything to prevent them. If I get them, I get them, and that's okay. All right, I'm gonna end the video here. I hope you guys enjoyed. If you want to follow me more closely through this pregnancy, I would encourage you to follow me on Instagram. I do share a lot of pictures of my bump and little updates here and there all the time on Instagram, so links will be down below if you want to. And I guess it's getting close to that time where I need to tell you that if you want to know exactly when I give birth and you want to be updated as soon as possible, follow me on Instagram, because that's the place where I'm probably going to announce it first. Can't believe that I'm already saying that. Ooh, also, if you are new here, because I know there are a lot of new faces here. Hi, hello, I'm glad you're here. I'll leave my pregnancy update playlist linked here or here. I forget what side, but I'll leave it linked so that you can go back and follow along with this pregnancy if you haven't already. Okay, I am out of breath. I am pooped. I'm gonna go edit this video and hopefully it's not blurry. I hope you guys are having a wonderful day, and I will see you in my next one. Bye guys. Wanna say hi?
Nothing.
No. Do you want to say bye?
Not my best.
You don't want to say anything? No.
Oh, life ain't a ding dong. If I could take you up and boom, 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 boom.